Affinity Photo comes with a variety of shapes. You can create them all using the shape tools. Just go over here, Tools panel, and you've got options here for rectangles, rounded rectangles, triangle, a lot of different shapes. But there's no spiral shape tool, nor is there a 3D box tool. Well, how to do it? How to create a spiral and how to create a 3D box. Well, use a free application, a really useful one, and that's Inkscape. Just go to Inkscape, and now I've got this on my Mac, but you can also obviously download it for a PC as well. Now, I'm not going to go through all the features of Inkscape. There's zillions of features. It's really powerful. We've got lots of extensions, filters, and much, much more. And I've created a few videos about Inkscape. But here's this one. Just go over here to the spiral tool. Select that, and you've got the options for turns, divergence, inner radius. So you can create a variety of different spirals. Not a vast number, but a reasonable selection. And also you've got modifiers like fills and strokes, etc. So let's just create that spiral. So here's a spiral. At this point, it's just a stroke. But if you want to turn it into a filled shape, you can't do that in Photo. If you've got Designer, if you're using it in Designer, you can expand the stroke. There's a feature for that in the layer menu. But Photo doesn't have that. So how to convert that? You have to use Inkscape. Just go here, and it's path, not object to path. You'd think it would be, but that isn't the case. It's stroke to path. So select that, stroke to path, and now it's converted. But the key thing is, you might not want that current width. So just undo. And before you convert it, make certain you set the stroke, because at the moment it's only 0.265. I'm going to go with something a bit better than that, 2, say. So with 2, now what you can do is go again to path and stroke to path. And that now converts it to a fill. Go to edit and copy. Now, of course, you can completely avoid that fill bit. If you don't want it, you just want it as a stroke. Perfectly reasonable. You can do exactly the same. Edit and copy. Then just go back to Affinity Photo. So in Affinity Photo, let's just remove that. And then go to edit and paste. And now you've got this design. And you can drag this out. And you can see now it's a fill. It's a curve. And you can go over here to the swatches. And you can select, say, gradients. And I can select a gradient. So now you can see it's filled with a gradient. It could be filled with a pattern design or a solid colour, etc. You can see also with the move tool selected, here's the fill. And the stroke is set to nothing. What you can do, if you want a stroke, a new strokes, just increase that. And you can see now you've got a stroke around that spiral design. Also, what you can do with that spiral selected, just go here to Effects, just click there, and you've got the option to make it maybe 3D, maybe go to Outer Shadow, and add a radius, offset, intensity, and close. So again, you can modify this design in a variety of different ways. But also, it's a vector design. As a vector design, you can use the node tool. So you can just go to the spiral and you can click here. So node tool, and then you can see all the various nodes. And you can just tweak it slightly. Now, it's not a vast number of tools. You might want Designer if you want a few more options. You can add like contours and those sort of things if you've got Designer. But you can also manipulate multiple points as well. You can just select multiple and then just drag that and distort that spiral design in many different ways as well. Also, you can turn it into a pixel layer. So with this curve, once you're happy with your design, you're perfectly reasonable with that, you can go to Layer and down here to Rasterize. So Rasterize, deselect that and Rasterize. And now you've got your spiral design as a pixel layer. And then you can go to Filters and you can apply a variety of different things, maybe blurs, go to Distort and Deform, maybe Mirror Effect, and distort it, and much, much more. If you want to save it for future use, because you don't always want to load up Inkscape every time, you just want to go straight, create the spiral, and then that's it. So go to Window and go down here to Assets, or if you're using the previous version, go to Studio, that's in the View menu, and then use the assets, right click, and add from selection. So it's just stored away, and then you can, of course, use that spiral at any point. If you want to create a 3D box for use in Affinity Photo, go here, just select the 3D box in Inkscape and then just create your design. Just drag and expand out. You can create a variety of different designs. You've got options along the top as before. And then you can copy this into Affinity Photo. But if you just go to Edit and Copy, it will not work. What you need to do is first go to this one, Layers and Objects. And you can see you've got this group. You need to expand it out, and instead of selecting the group, you need to select all of these. So all of these are selected. Then go to Edit and Copy. Then go to Affinity Photo. So Affinity Photo 2, and then go to Edit and Paste. And now you can see your box. And you can move it around, manipulate it in numerous ways. Now, it's frozen as a box. You can't manipulate it. There's no settings to change it. But you'll notice when you go over to Layers, and you can find that in the window menu, Layers, you've got the curve. You've got the curve there. It's made up of multiple curves. In fact, 6. But you can select them individually. So select that curve. And you can see now you've got the colour there. If you want to change it, you can use it here. Just click on that and change it maybe to green or pink or blue or whatever. You can also go to Window and down to Swatches. And you maybe add a gradient. Just select any of the gradients you've got. You can also select some of the others, and obviously some are not visible. You can also select maybe this curve, and then you select there. And you can see you can create a variety of different designs with that as well. If you want to move it around, probably the best thing to do is select all of the curves, right click, and then go down to Group. And with that, you've got now your design there. You can, exactly the same as before, add effects, layer effects. So just go to Effects, just click that, and go for 3D, say. And that will add a 3D effect to the cube, which is obviously a 3D design anyway. But you can also go to Outer Shadow, and then add a radius, offset, and intensity, and click Close. And of course, hold down the Alt Option key and duplicate that design. So just drag to duplicate that box. You may like to just turn it into an outline design. So with these curves, simply select all of them. And now just go up here to one of these shape tools. So just click that, and you can see you've got a fill there. So just click and then go over here and set that to nothing. So you can see now you've got absolutely nothing for any of those curves. But also what you can do, you can go to strokes, so just click there, and maybe turn that into black. And then change the number of the width and increase that. And now you can see you've got an outline design of your 3D box. And of course, what you can also do is all these individual shapes can be just moved. So just click the curve there and then just reposition it. So you can position it there, click that one, move that, and so on. So it doesn't need to remain as a basic box. Obviously, it doesn't look particularly amazing once you've done that, but you can manipulate individual points of this design. So let's just undo that, put it back to that. What you can do, select all of it. You can also go to the Node tool, and you can then manipulate that. So click there and just drag, click that and drag. If you want to actually manipulate all of them, make certain you select all of them just by dragging over and then just dragging that. And then you can create obviously a slightly more oblique cube design with this shape. Also do exactly the same while it's at filled design. So just select all those points, any of the points you want to move, and then simply just drag. And you can see as you drag that again, you can create a slightly more unusual cube design. Once you're happy with the design and you want to just turn it into a pixel design again, simply select all of it, right click, go down to Group, turn it into a group, then go to Layer, and down here to Rasterize. So it's rasterize all into a single pixel layer. Then you can go to Filters, and maybe go to Distort and Deform. And you can distort it, so just add some pins and just modify the design in multiple ways. And click Apply. With the shape as a group, you can also apply transformations. You can use the new 2.2 version of Affinity Photo where you can transform it by simply select it with the Move tool, press Return, and you'll get this panel, Move and Duplicate. And when you do, just change the horizontal by just dragging out like that. You can reposition it, but also you you can go here to duplicate. So just turn that on and you can see then you've got a number of copies. And then you can say, oh, I don't want 1, I want 2, I want 25. And you can modify the horizontal and you can create 25 or 15 different boxes very quickly. Or maybe use the rotation feature. And again, rotate all of those boxes. Click OK. If you want to use this 3D box as a brushstroke, all you need to do is go to the brushes panel and select here and go down to new brush from selection. Unfortunately, before you need that, you need to convert it into a raster or pixel layer. Just go to layer and down to rasterize again. And now it's a rasterized layer. You can go over here to brushes, go here and down to new brush from selection. Just click that and now you can see you've got your 3D cube as a brush stroke. You can also use it as a pattern design. So go to layer and down to new pattern layer from selection, select that, and now you've got a 3D pattern design, which you can then manipulate in many different ways, such as rotating, resizing, and combining with multiple other layers. If you've got any questions, please let me know in the comments below. Always great to hear from you. Also, a like or dislike, always appreciated. Thank you much.